Welcome back. We continue our coverage on the day's top stories. The Democratic Alliance says it will stay within the Government of National Unity despite being undermined for the benefit of this country. The party says leaving the coalition will give space for what it says is a coalition of chaos and corruption. Now, for more on the heightened tensions between the two parties, we are now joined by the spokesperson, Mr. Willie Oakam. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So the DA in the last 48 hours had issued that ultimatum to the president for him to get rid of what you call corrupt ministers. Some of the analysts have described that as a misguided effort and certainly not a spirit that should be wanted within the GNU. Do you believe that issuing out this ultimatum has given the fruits that you were hoping for?
Well, we've got to see whether that will work. The facts of the matter is that President Ramaphosa is clearly not rooting out corruption within his party and within his cabinet, as he promised that he would do. We are having ministers serving in this cabinet, the likes of Thembi Simelane, who has been implicated in the VBS looting scandal. We've got Mr. Nkabane, who has been proven to have lied to Parliament and the public over the last weeks. We've got Deputy Minister Mashlobo that has been implicated in the Zondo Commission report on state capture. So if the president is not going to act against ministers and deputy ministers of his own party in his government who have been implicated in serious offenses like this, then the Democratic Alliance will start to take over that role and enter into actions that will ensure that we clean up cabinet. And that is exactly what we have done today. The Democratic Alliance have announced that we will not form part of the National Dialogue, a program that we have not been have not had any discussions with the ANC or the president on, where we have got a sufficient consensus clause in the Government of National Unity. They should have discussed that with us. The first that we heard is that there's a list of names of 30 people. We had no input in that list. And then we heard the budget of 740 million rand going towards that. So the Democratic Alliance is boycotting that. We will not take part in that national dialogue. If we can't even have proper discussions with our partners in the GNU with regards to the ANC, if I say our partner, if they can't even communicate with us, how can we trust them then to go and communicate the national dialogue with people of this country? The second step that we have said that we will take is we will not support budgets of portfolios in which these ministers that have been implicated by the Zondo Commission report or in VBS or have serious transgressions that they allegedly take, we will not support the budgets of those portfolios because we simply will not be able to trust those ministers to implement those budgets. And that is where the Democratic Alliance stands. So if President Ramaphosa is not going to take action against corrupt ministers, the Democratic Alliance will, because we made a promise to this country that we will rescue South Africa and we will keep that promise.
So you speak about the non-support of the budgets that belong to certain portfolios of those particular ministers that you want to see out. What do you think that will have as an implication on the broader South Africans, those, especially if you look at the Ministry of Housing and Homes and Settlements? What then would be the impact of those people? We're seeing the floods that are currently ravaging many parts of Cape Town, the Eastern Cape, and those budgets at this very point in time are very crucial for the people that need them.
Well, the ball is now in President Ramaphosa's court. He's got to fire those ministers so that we get trustworthy ministers there. It's no use having a budget that's being implemented by a minister that has been implicated in corrupt transactions. We don't know what that money is going to do. We don't know whether that money is really going to go towards the people that really need it. The Democratic Alliance will always stand up for the rights of those people. And we simply cannot trust those ministers. So the ball is firmly in President Ramaphosa and the ANC's court now. They must get rid of those ministers. We will gladly support those budgets if we know that we've got a person that is the custodian of that budget that we can trust. But if you can't trust somebody with your money, are you going to give him the purse? I don't think so. So we are using this as leverage to make sure that those ministers are being set out of cabinet. We can't have them there, and that is what we will do. The Democratic Alliance will support the budget as a whole, But these different ministeries, we definitely not going to support due to the fact that their ministers are untrustworthy.
So speaking about these ministers, I mean, you mentioned Minister Mkabane, Mahlobe and Simelane, and surely each of these ministers' cases deserve their own merit. But what set the ball in motion currently is that of former Deputy Minister Whitfield and his unauthorized trip to the US. As the DA, are you saying there was no misconduct on his behalf for these actions to be taken by the president?
Not at all. Mr. Whitfield asked the president whether he can go overseas. He did that in a letter on the 12th of February. For 10 days, the president did not reply to him. He followed up with the presidency every single day. Now, we just heard today that Mr. Alvin Botha said that he asked the president and he got a reply from the president within 1 day. So why then does the president reply to ANC deputy ministers in 24 hours, but in 10 days he could not reply to Andrew Whitfield? So if you then go and compare a minister or a deputy minister going overseas, not on government money, on his party's money, on behalf of his party, it was not an official trip. And if you go and read the ministerial handbook, it refers to official trips. This was not an official trip. So we can argue whether he definitely, in terms of the ministerial handbook, needed permission from the president. But be that as it may, he wrote to the president and he asked permission. But now go and compare going overseas, not costing taxpayers a cent, with being implicated in the Zondo Commission on State Capture with serious allegations of fraud, with being implicated in the VBS looting scandal with serious allegations against you, having been proved to lie to Parliament and to the people of this country. You cannot compare that. So what we are asking the president is, whilst you are now cleaning up your cabinet, do it properly. Sweep in front of your own door. Get those ANC ministers that are allegedly involved in these absolute serious corruption charges. Get them out of your cabinet. Let's show South Africa that we can have a cabinet that is clean, that has got people there that are worthy of serving the people of this country in their cabinet.
I mean, in the media briefing that we saw earlier on, there was a lot of talk about disrespect and disregard, not only of the DA, but other parties within the GNU. Maybe just let us into confidence with regards to what then you would describe as the disrespect and disregard by the ANC to its GNU partners.
In our country, the president can hire and fire. The Constitution gives him that right. So that is one relationship, is the president and the Constitution. But you've got another relationship, and that is the relationship between partners in a government of national unity. The ANC does not govern alone anymore. So they must take, and the president must take his partners within the GNU into consideration. On Wednesday, let me give you the background. On Wednesday morning, just before the cabinet meeting, President Ramaphosa informed our leader, John Steenhuisen, that he is going to dismiss Andrew Whitfield. No prior discussions on that. Only that I'm going to dismiss him. Mr. Steenhuisen asked the president to give him 24 hours so that he can discuss this with Mr. Whitfield as well as with the party, with the DA. The president didn't even grant him that courtesy. 3 hours later, 3 hours after this request by his largest partner in the GNU, the president issued the letter of dismissal. Now, that is definitely not respect. So there's been such a lot of instances where disrespect has been shown. But go and have a look at what John Steenhuisen has done in the past. He has always treated the president with the utmost amount of respect. We are committed to this GNU. We treat the GNU with respect. And that is what we will keep on doing. The mere fact that Mr. John Steenhuisen is not getting sidelined because he's handled disrespectfully must show you the commitment of that man towards making this country a success. Many weak leaders would have used the disrespect with which they've been handled, to walk away from this responsibility in government. But Mr. Steenhuisen, our leader, did not do that. He stood firm. Even if there are attacks against him and against the members of the DA, he's always acting in the best interest of the country, not necessarily in the best interest of his party. And that is what the ANC must do. The ANC always act in the best interest of the ANC, not of the party. And President Ramaphosa must now come to a point where he acts in the best interest of this country and not necessarily in the best interest of the ANC. He needs to lead. He is our president. So please, Mr. President, lead now. Get rid of those corrupt ministers in your government. If you are not man enough to do that, we, the Democratic Alliance, will assist you in doing that.
So, Willie, are you saying that the clause of collective decision-making in the statement of intent supersedes the president's prerogative for him to make decisions constitutionally?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there are two relationships here. When the ANC governed alone, there was only one relationship, and that was the Constitution and the president. And he still has got that right. But when you are in a relationship, when you are in a coalition like this GNU, surely it would be right for you to discuss this with your partners in the GNU. Let's take the steps that the president could have taken here. He could have easily, within those 10 days that he did not reply to Mr. Whitfield, he could have easily sent him a letter and say, no, I don't grant you permission. I don't want you to go. Then there wouldn't have been an issue. But he did not do that. He could have easily contacted John Steenhuisen 2-3 weeks ago and say, listen, I've got a problem. I'm cleaning up my cabinet, and one of your deputy ministers did A, B, and C. I'm going to get rid of them. And there could have been a forewarning. We could have discussed that. We could have looked at other options. In the case of Minister Thembi Simelane, who has been implicated in the VBS looting scandal, having benefited money to buy a coffee shop which she cannot explain, the president merely asked her to give him a report. That courtesy was not granted to Mr. Whitfield. So why the double standard, Mr. President? Why don't you treat your partners' members in your cabinet in the same way as you treat your own party's members? Let's get a standard where we root out everything that is wrong. And I again want to say, you cannot compare the seriousness of what Mr. Whitfield has done with what these other ministers that have been implicated has done. So we ask the president, please, Mr. President, come and let's govern this country properly. You are not governing alone anymore. Yes, you are the head of state. And yes, you've got these powers that are given to you in terms of the Constitution, and we never question that. But please also respect your partners within this GNU. Otherwise, you will not be successful as a president.
Well, Mr. Oukamp, some may argue that the seriousness of Mr. Whitfield's actions could have resulted in the sovereignty of our country being compromised in that trip that he undertook. But of course, that's another discussion for another day. Thank you so much for your time. It certainly is a pleasure having your thoughts this evening. That was Willie Oukamp, the DA spokesperson, giving us a reaction this evening.